Alright guys, so today we're going to be making green spaghetti or Mexican spaghetti. I've seen people call it both ways. I've never had this before, but it looks really good, it sounds really good. So you don't need much ingredients for this either. You just need some spaghetti. I have this pot-sized spaghetti right here. You need a onion, which I grabbed from the farmer's market. You can get your onion wherever you want to get it, obviously. You need some chicken bouillon. You need garlic or garlic. I grabbed regular garlic. It's just cheaper than garlic and it tastes better, honestly. Cream cheese, sour cream, cilantro. You actually need 2 serrano peppers, but they didn't have serrano, so I grabbed 2 jalapenos. It's fine. And then you need 4 poblano peppers. Alright guys, so put your 4 poblano peppers into your pan. This pan might be a little too small, but it's like all I have at the moment. And you're going to want to just kind of sear these or whatever. Just cook them down a little bit. And this lid does not fit, but we're going to make it work. It's fine. So I will come back when these are actually a little. Alright guys, so I did add a tiny bit of water in here because I just think it wasn't working how it was supposed to work. Like I said, I've never made this before. We have some burnt spots, but honestly, you can kind of just peel that off. It just kind of scrapes off. And honestly, I'm not really worried about it. But you just want to keep cooking your peppers until they are soft. And they are starting to get soft, so I think just a little bit more, a few more minutes maybe. I did turn down the stove down some so they didn't burn completely. But I have just been kind of like flipping them over. And I think I'm going to go ahead and add a tiny bit more water in here as well, because it all evaporated. And yeah, continue cooking them until they're soft. Our peppers are nice and soft, so we're going to go ahead and steam them in a bag for 10 minutes. Just grab a clean grocery bag, or yeah, that's what the lady did that I saw make this, so that's what we're doing. These are hot, so it's going to take all 4 peppers. Put them in our bag. Now that they're nice and soft. And we're going to tie our bag up. And we're just going to set them aside and set a timer for 10 minutes and we'll move on to the next step. Alright guys, so now we're going to go ahead and start making this sauce. I have some water boiling back there. I put salt in it. Once it's starting to boil, we'll go ahead and add our entire box of noodles. But we're gonna go ahead with the sauce. So use a food processor or a blender. Either one works. I'm gonna use a blender because I have one right here. Alright guys, so we're gonna add 1 cup of milk, which I did not say you guys needed, but yeah, you guys need a cup of milk. And then we're going to go ahead and add our 2 jalapeno peppers. If you have serrano, use those. I just don't. And I just wanted a little bit of spice in mine, and I figured the jalapenos would be fine. But I looked everywhere for serrano peppers at the store and could not find any, so just decided to use jalapeno. I guess I don't have to cut this up. I'm not sure why I'm cutting it up. It's going in the blender. I guess I'm just so used to it. If you want to de-seed them, you can. And I guess for that, you would have to cut them up. But I'm not de-seeding them, so I'm not sure why I did that. So just cut the tops off. Put your whole peppers in there. I'm using 2 jalapenos. And then we're going to go ahead and do 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon. Now, I did not get the powdered one because the powdered one is a lot more expensive. I just grabbed the cubes. I did look it up online and it said that 6 cubes equals 2 tablespoons. I feel like that's not right, but we're about to find out. And if it's super, super salty, then, you know, that's fine, I guess. Because I know bouillon cubes can be pretty salty. So we're going to go ahead and add in our bouillon cubes. And that is the whole pack, since there are 6 in the pack, and the pack I bought anyway. Alright, so next we're going to head and add 1 bunch of cilantro. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and add a whole bunch of cilantro. I did cut off the stems. There's still obviously some stem in there, but I cut off like all the extra. Next we need 3/4 cup of sour cream. Alright guys, so that whole entire container of sour cream I showed you was actually 3/4, so we're just going to put the whole thing in there. Alright, so now we're going to add a little bit of garlic or fresh garlic, whatever you want, whatever you have on hand. I am probably going to use this whole entire thing. I like garlic. I don't think it'll... This is definitely going to be flavorful with all the chicken bouillon and garlic and stuff. But yeah, go ahead and peel your garlic, and then we're not even going to worry about crushing it or anything. We're just going to put the bulbs in here full because it's going to be blended anyway. Down, getting all that skin off of the garlic. I was going to use the whole bulb, but I'm actually not going to use it all. I just feel like that's a lot. So we are going to use quite a bit though. There's 2, 3, and 4. We still have 2 more pieces left. I could just add them in there, but pretty sure that's enough garlic. Alright, so next we're going to go ahead and add 1 block of cream cheese. Honestly, I might just go ahead and start giving this a little blend just so we can get some of this stuff mixed up. Make sure we have this plugged in, turn it on. Alright, so now we're going to add in our whole block of cream cheese. Alright guys, so we're going to add our block of cream cheese, and I have Jay behind me putting our noodles inside of the boiling water, and then we're going to let those boil for like 8 to 10 minutes, however long it takes to cook noodles. It don't take long. I like mine al dente, so I don't let them cook very long. We don't want them all soft and gross.
You want all the noodles in there?
Yeah, just throw them all in there. I'm not worried about that. And we're going to go ahead and add a full onion on here. This onion isn't the biggest onion, so it's fine. If you're a really big onion, I wouldn't add the whole thing. But I'm going to go ahead and just chop this into some rings so it's smaller for the blender. And we're just going to add some onion in there. And we'll give that a nice little blend. And then we're going to grab our poblano peppers and we're going to put them in here as well. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and cut off the stems to the poblanos. You don't want that in there. I guess they're nice and soft, so you can kind of just pluck them off actually. Now you can de-seed these. I'm not going to. Just go ahead and get the stem off at least. And then add in your peppers. Alright guys, so we're going to attempt to blend this. All the peppers are in there. It's kind of full, way to the top, but hopefully it all works out. I think I'm going to add another splash of milk in here too, just to thin this sauce down, because I think it's very, very, very thick.
Wager money on it, but I'm
Alright guys, so I added a tiny bit of milk. I'm worried about like the blender because like this is overfilled, but we're gonna try it. Seems to be doing fine. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take this knife and I'm going to kind of push these peppers down a tiny bit. That way we can make sure that they get nice and blended. This does smell really good. Also, chicken bouillon is very salty. We are going to add just a tiny bit of salt in here. Not much. You don't want to go overkill. Just about that much. Good. And we're going to give it one more blend, and then we're going to go ahead and pour this into a saucepan and start getting it heated up. Alright, that should be good. I'm going to set this aside, and I also have some Texas toast that I bought, so I'm going to go ahead and pop that in the oven as well. So that way that can get going, and we'll have some Texas toast with our Mexican spaghetti. I don't know if that's actually a thing, but noodles always go good with fucking garlic bread, so. Alright guys, so I just drained the noodles. They're over in the strainer. We're going to go ahead and take a whole entire stick of butter, and we're just going to throw it in there and let that melt. And then we're going to go ahead and add our sauce in there, and then we'll add our noodles. Pan only. Alright, so our butter is basically melted. We're going to go ahead and add in our sauce. It's very thick.
Smells really good.
And just make sure you scrape it all out. And we're going to let that heat up, and then we'll add our noodles, and we'll get a plate, basically. You can also add chicken into this, I've heard, but I just didn't feel like doing that. We're just going to go ahead and do the sauce and noodles and some garlic bread. Alright guys, so our sauce is starting to heat up some. I'm going to go ahead and add our noodles in here. And if you are one of those people that like to have your noodles and sauce separate, that's fine too. Just do it the way you want to do it. I just go ahead and mix it. So
That's what I do.
incorporate our noodles with the sauce and just continue to let it heat up, and it'll be all good to go. And our garlic bread is almost done, so we'll see you at the table for a small little taste test in a few, and then we're gonna enjoy our dinner. Alright guys, so this is what our Mexican spaghetti is looking like, or green spaghetti. And our garlic bread just came out. Looks pretty tasty. We're gonna go ahead and sit down and just do a little taste test for you guys. Wrap the video up, so see you guys at the table. Alright guys, so we have our plates. I'm gonna go ahead and try this out for you guys. This is my first time ever having Mexican spaghetti, green spaghetti, so.
Me too. Trying to actually get a bite. Hold on.
Alright guys, yeah. So
That's so good.
It's extremely creamy. Very, very, very tasty.
There's a little bit of spice to it.
It has a pretty good spice to it, so if you keep eating it, I'm sure the heat's gonna rise in that. Yeah, this is honestly amazing. You get that nice garlic flavor. It's very flavorful, and like I said, it's very, very creamy. If you like creamy pasta, this is definitely for you. And I'm sure this is gonna be great on the actual garlic bread.
This is so much better than I thought it would be too.
Oh yeah, adding that on there. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10. Of course, it's good. It's my cooking. My cooking is always good, so.
I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10 as well.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, and comment, and subscribe. And if you guys make this, definitely let me know what you think. Think if it's good or not. Alright, see you later.